For the past 6 years, there have been 2 poker certainties. An amateur wins.
Jerry Yang is the 2007 world champion.
And a pro comes painfully close. 2000 high hopes, but those were dashed, and a second world title would have to wait.
Phil Hellmuth has been eliminated.
In 2006, Alan Cunningham nearly won, finishing 4th.
It's got to be a massive disappointment for Alan Cunningham to walk away from this table without the championship bracelet.
But recently, few have made as many meaningful runs as Mike the Mouth Matasso. Only to see them end in a flash. Now, all 3 are once again in the hunt, hoping that this is the year a pro can finally break through.
How do these players even last this long?
Or will they once again fall victim to the great unknown? Welcome to the World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. I'm Lon McCarron, along with Norman Chad, as Day 5 continues here at the Rio. We are down to 145 players, including a handful of pros, as well as a few women hoping to make history as the first female world champion.
One of these days, we're getting closer to that moment.
Tiffany Michelle is still at a loaded table, too. That includes 2005 Player of the Year Alan Cunningham, and at our featured table, 2 guys who are just lucky to be here.
That's right, Lon. Mike Matasso doubled up early here on Day 5. Chino Ream doubled up later on Day 5. Both hit a queen to stay alive.
I'm too quiet, boys. I need to get my energy level back up.
Let's take a look at our E-Trade financial chip count. It's top heavy with foreign players, save for the USA's David Benefield. Chip leader Christian Dragomir is at our featured table, as is David Chino Ream. 2 of the big guns out there, Phil Hellmuth and Mike Matasso, are below chip average. Action on Mike Matasso. Matasso looks down on the Milwaukee's Best Light pocket cam at ace-9 of diamonds.
In No Limit, the mouse says you have to stay patient and pick your spots to attack, and he has followed his own advice at this main event.
Boy, isn't that true, Norman? He described himself as a nit so far, but he's going to raise it here to 46,000. On to Christian Dragomir, the tournament chip leader from Romania. He'll fold. Kara Scott now. She's one of 5 women left in the main event field. Looks down at pocket aces.
My girl's been waiting for a big hand all day, and now she's got one.
Just whatever you do, don't re-raise. But do what you got to do.
I don't think she's going to be quiet with pocket aces. Yeah, she announces a raise.
I say, whatever you do, don't re-raise.
Well, if I were a woman, I wouldn't listen to a man. You know, I like it when she folds, but I like it even more when she raises. Kara Scott Chad.
150,000 raised from the European Poker Tour commentator. Chino folds.
6 hands today, just raised under the gun and just got re-popped on a small blind.
Boy, Mike sounded like Phil Hellmuth there. And with the mouth, Will realizes she knows he's played only 6 hands today and raised under the gun, so she must have a big hand.
We got 2 levels in 40 minutes, right? Remember that?
Matasso gives it up.
He makes the right decision.
Good read by Mike there.
Kara Scott Chad. I like it. It has the sound of royalty.
Boy, you are dreaming.
I really, really like that guy.
He's a superstar, man.
Yeah, he is. He's my hero. So I hate all pros, but I really like that guy.
Christian likes Mike, but at the main event, he'd just as soon knock him out as shake his hand. Norman, since Carlos Mortensen won the big one in 2001, no top pro has taken down the title. Some have nearly run the gauntlet successfully since, but ultimately the power of the unknown player proved to be too much to overcome.
Mike Matasso knows full well what one must overcome to win the main event. He made the final table before the poker boom, and he made it again after. Arguably, no top pro wants to capture the main event more than the mouth, and if Matasso finally wins the big one, we would certainly hear a mouthful for a long, long time.
We usually hear a lot from Mike, whether or not he wins, but lately he's been card dead and tight-lipped. All right, let's go over to table 2 to a player who also is used to making runs in the main event, the always reserved Alan Cunningham.
Cunningham used to deliver pizzas very, very quietly, I believe.
Recently joining this table is the hyper-aggressive Keto Pham. They are both watching Alex Althred with Queen 10 joust with Tim Lockey and his pocket jacks. Action on Lockey right now. Lockey will make a call for 125,000 chips, and we'll see a flop.
All right. Let's
Sweet loser.
Alfred, the poker expert, versus Lockie, the Staples sales director. Lockie's still good with jacks up after the flop. And a check from Lockie. And a check from Alfred. Turn card 5 of clubs. 2 pair is still best for Lockie. Alfred with a flush draw. Lockie checked.
Alfred used to log hands on the World Poker Tour. Now he's a coach at the World Series of Poker Academy.
275.
And he is going to bet $275,000 with that draw. And a quick call from Lockie.
Lockie first learned how to play on a video poker machine. You don't hear that a whole lot.
You got to bet quick on those, too. All right, river card is an 8 of hearts. Lockie earns the check mark. And he checks again. 3 checks from Lockie.
All right, I'll put you all in.
Alfred bets enough to put Lockie all in now.
Yeah, so the likable poker coach who has nothing, trying to take the amateur to school. Alfred trying to bluff Lockie, who would have to risk his tournament right here.
Oh, we got a little pair versus pair action going on here.
I think we have a little squad deuce versus big pair action going on here.
Alfred trying to win the hand with words, not cards. And Lockie's going to give it up.
Man, he got jacked. Come on, man. I know he's got jacks.
Boy, everyone here knows Lockie had jacks. This is a tough crowd.
I should have called it.
Oh, folder's remorse. And Alex Alfred will take that hand, steal it away from Tim Lockie.
Well, as this room clears out and we get down to about 15 tables, you can start to smell the $9 million first prize.
Back to our featured table, a very strong featured table. Chino Ream looks down at pocket deuces.
Ream battered and battered earlier here on day 5 until he was all in with queens against Sean Davis's kings, and he got lucky hitting the queen.
Chino raised it to 46,000. Matiso folds again.
Can't find anything to play.
Over to Fee Wynn, 2-time bracelet winner at the World Series with Ace King of Hearts.
I'm all in.
And he's going to push with that hand.
Wow. I mean, like,
I just want to win prop. That's it.
I hear you. What kind of hand is that right there? Like, I mean, you wouldn't do that with aces. You wouldn't do that with aces or kings. I mean, that's like ace king right there for sure. Suited. Got to be suited.
How did they know?
Boyline, that's scary. She must be carpooling with Daniel Negreanu.
I can beat ace king suited right now. Question is, do I want to flip for 600,000?
Exactly.
What do you got? 600? All in?
Exactly.
I can't call 600, buddy. You got it. I don't know what you have. I'm pretty sure you got like ace king suited, which I can beat. You got it, buddy.
All right. Thank you for letting down.
As a courtesy, Fee Wynn should show him the ace king suited.
I had a pair.
Just would be the nice thing to do.
Wynn's going to keep his secret.
I never have anything.
Fee Wynn's going to take that pot, but Chino Ream really seems zeroed in on his A game here at the featured table.
We play for big pots, small stakes, and the chance to say, read 'em and weep. For the weekends, the all-nighters, and the lunch hour. We play for the legends and for the unknowns who dream of winning it all. For the bad beats and the pocket kings we sometimes have the sense to fold. We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
The 2008 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by WorldSeriesOfPoker.com. Shop WorldSeriesOfPoker.com. Get free shipping on gifts for your poker fan at ShopWSOP.com.
November 11th, that is when you can watch that World Series bracelet be awarded to the new world champion here at the Rio. Mike Matiso has been to 2 main event final tables this decade. Can he make it 3?
If you guys get rid of me, you lose the party.
No party, huh?
That's why you gotta keep me and Kara at the table. You laughing at me, young lady?
I'm laughing with you. You're a funny man. I'm very entertained, that's all.
Okay.
It's quite, it's very exciting for me. I'm playing on the same table.
It's exciting for me to be playing with you.
Hey, Mike, that's my gal.
Kara Scott trying to use her feminine wiles there, and as we learn in this edition of The Nuts, the X factor at the poker table may be the 2X chromosomes.
you're a pretty girl and you're smart, I mean, you'd be surprised what you can get away with.
You know, a lot of times when guys, you know, are calling me sweetie and baby and honey, I kind of have an idea, you know, that they might be taking it slightly easy on me.
I know that one woman whispered in a guy's ear that he could feel her breasts if he folded his hand.
I don't know what it is about, like, the female species playing poker with guys, but they're just so unnerved when you sit at the table. For some reason, guys are big scaredy cats.
Yeah, you gotta take any edge you can. I mean, this is a very competitive game. I make sure I'm really friendly at the table. I'm quite nice. I smile.
They always flirt, but they're not necessarily interested. They're interested in, like, winning that pot or bluffing you or you taking it easy. I'm like, oh. And the guy's like, oh, I can't call her. And they fold. She's like, sucker.
There's a lot of advantage to it. This is a game. We're competing here for money. Hello. This is about money.
It's not my thing. I don't need it for my game, and if it works for them, great, more power to them.
For the most part, I downplay my femininity. You think this is pretty? This is all just being pretty? I want to be known because I'm kicking butt.
I firmly believe Kara Scott Chad would be the best poker player I've ever been married to. I would stay with her till death do us part. Well, unless she goes on tilt or something.
Kara is one of 5 women left in the main event, but we go out to the field. We might be in danger of losing one. Karen Manfredi at risk. She's going up against Scott Montgomery, a Canadian pro from Perth, Ontario. After the turn, Montgomery turns over pocket jacks for a full house. Manfredi drawing dead and gone.
Well, the 26-year-old Canadian pro didn't mind picking on a woman there.
So now the main event down to just 4 women, and Scott Montgomery up to 2.3 million chips. At another table, Lisa Parsons, an amateur from Tennessee, is jousting with Dennis Phillips with all the cards out. Parsons has checked to Phillips, an account manager for a St. Louis trucking firm.
Parsons turns 36 today. She's a software consultant and a fledgling screenwriter.
Phillips bets 115. Parsons calls. He's got 3 8s, and he'll take that pot.
Well, the 53-year-old trucking account manager doesn't mind picking on a woman either.
Dennis Phillips now with almost 1.3 million, slightly above the chip average.
Hang in there, Lisa.
Over at table 2, the other 2 women sit together. Tiffany Michelle with a strong chip stack, and Mina Rita Korpi of Finland. She's in a hand with Michael Carroll. Rita Korpi with 8-7 of diamonds. Carroll with pocket 5s pre-flop. And here comes the flop. It is Jack 9-6. Carroll, pocket 5 still ahead. Rita Korpi with an up and down straight draw. Michael Carroll checks. Rita Korpi makes it 100,000.
A semi-bluff from the 33-year-old poker pro. The usually chatty Carroll has zipped it up at the moment. That's a tough flop for him to call. 3 overcards to his pocket 5s.
He does make the call, though. To the turn we go. It is a 5, and Rita Korpi hits a 9-high straight, but that also gives Carroll a set of 5s.
Yikes. Carroll's best card is also his worst card.
And he checks.
Call.
An insta-call to Rita Korpi's all in.
Yeah, bang, bang. Those hands played out themselves.
And Carroll way behind. Rita Korpi in good shape to double up.
Rita Korpi all in. Carroll can only knock her out if the board pairs.
River card now, and the board pairs!
Yes!
Rita Korpi knocked out by Carroll's full house.
Don't try to bluff the black guy.
Michael Carroll doesn't mind picking on a woman either, plus he gave us a poker tip.
Mina Rita Korpi scores her first career World Series cash, goes out in 136th place. And Michael Carroll now rebuilding his stack after having it fall below 200,000 chips. So a horrific defeat for the Finnish pro, and now Tiffany Michelle is part of a trio of women left.
8-5. It's good to be Brandon Cantu.
Wow, what a way to hit the rail. Cantu catches a little luck there. Now 121 players remaining in this main event. The chip average a little more than 1.1 million chips to the field. Now Phil Hellmuth just slightly better than chip average. He's in a hand with Thomas Keller, who has just pushed all in.
I've heard you've been moving in every hand, and I've seen you move in 3 times. So I know you have a huge range to move in. I'm just afraid you might have king-queen. I can't beat king-queen. All right. I guess I'll lay it down. It's probably good against you, though.
Phil is an equal opportunity poker brat. He'll pick on amateurs and on bracelet winners.
You can't beat King 10, don't worry.
But I'm not going to show my hand.
No,
I'll tell you what I had later. Well, because I had a pretty big hand.
You had a big hand, ace 7 offsuit.
There should be a sign on the wall. If you make a bet against Phil Hellmuth, be prepared to show proof of hand.
All right, let's go to table 2. Alan Cunningham is all in with Queen Jack of Hearts, 5-time bracelet winner, up against Tim Lockey.
Call.
And he calls.
Alan, what's it do to you?
Lockey turns over pocket aces. Cunningham all in with a lot of work to do to stick around.
And the great Alan Cunningham will take his bitter pill here with a lot more grace than Phil Hellmuth would.
The flop is 7-6 trade. No help at all to Allen.
And Cunningham now all but done. He's going to need runner involving hearts, queens, and or jacks.
Turn card now is an 8 of diamonds, and that's going to do it. Cunningham drawing dead and eliminated from the main event. This top pro knocked off by the amateur Tim Lockey.
Cunningham 4th in the main event in 2006, and this ends his run of 3 straight years winning a bracelet.
And that leaves our main event field at 116 players. The chip average almost 1.2 million. Back now to our featured table, and Chino Ream, he looks down at 7-6 offsuit. Chino's going to play it. That's how we got in trouble earlier in the day. 55,000 is the race.
About ready to start loosening it up, boys. It's almost gear change time for Mikey.
Mikey with king tray.
Yeah, he's not going to change gears with that.
He folds. Over to Aditya Agarwal, born in Calcutta, India. Pocket fives in the small blind. He announces a re-raise to 160,000 total.
It's a big re-raise.
Chino Ream will make the call.
Very few people would make that call. Chino is one of them. He loves to mix it up with different hands.
So he'll go heads up with the 23-year-old Agarwal. Deuce 4-8, a gut shot straight draw for Ream. Fives are still ahead for Agarwal. Agarwal bets 165,000.
Chino very capable of coming over the top here with a semi-bluff.
Chino just calls with that draw.
He heard me say he should do one thing, so he'll do another thing. Thanks, buddy.
Wise man. All right, to the turn now. It is a jack of spades. No help to Chino Ream. Agarwal checks.
240.
Now Chino muscles up. 240,000.
Well, Agarwal decided to give Chino a free card, and Chino says, nah, why would I want a free card? Life is too short. Plus, maybe I can pick up the pot right here.
Agarwal with the best hand. Pocket fives.
Yeah, but those pocket fives don't look as good now. Plus, of course, he's up against the big stack.
Agarwal folds. Chino correctly sensed some insecurity in his opponent, fired a big bet to win the hand, making that the planter's good instinct moment.
I love this guy. Plays so like me. I love him.
High praise from the mouth as Chino Ream has found his rhythm.
The Planters Good Instinct moment is brought to you by Planters. Instinctively good.
Welcome back to the main event at the Rio 2006 Player of the Year. Jeff Madsen's all in after the flop. Madsen in trouble with King 10 against Victor Ramden's pair of aces.
Madsen needs runner to prolong his main event.
Turn card is a 4 of diamonds. Madsen doesn't get it. That will end this main event for Jeff Madsen. Victor Ramden doing the deed. He's got 1.8 million chips.
Seems like Madsen's been around forever, but he still could become the youngest main event champion if he wins next year.
On the E-Trade Financial Tournament ticker, you see only 111 players are left in the main event. Amazingly, 2 of those players have known each other since elementary school. Dean Hamrick grew up in Michigan and started playing poker as a teenager with his childhood buddy, who is now sitting nearby. Justin Scott, a World Series bracelet winner in 2006. Justin has just bet enough to put opponent Kelly Kim all in after the flop. Kim, a pro from Whittier, California, will call and put himself at risk.
Call on 3.
Scott shows ace 10. Kim leads with a pair of jacks. Scott with a flush draw. Turn card is a 10. That pair Scott.
Scott now can knock out Kim with a 10 or a heart.
River card is an ace of clubs, and Kelly Kim will win the hand and double up to Justin Scott.
Kim, a 36-year-old former business analyst turned poker pro.
All right, let's get back over to table 2. Tiffany Michelle sitting there. Of course, one of 3 women left in the field. She's watching her friend, Alex Althred, tangle with 2 others at this table. Althred has a pair of 6s. Tim Lockey leads the hand with a pair of queens, and Thomas Keller now at this table has a straight draw. Betting on the turn has Althred putting out $140,000. Keller folds. Lockey makes the call with his leading ladies.
And the amateur continues to mix it up with the poker coach.
Ace queen over there, Timbo.
Guess that's why he's a poker coach.
All right. Could be, he says, to the river. Deuce. Lockey earns the check mark. Althred first to act, and he's reaching for chips.
I'll tell you, at the World Series of Poker Academy, Althred must spend an entire day instructing folks on bluffing the river.
Althred bets $350,000.
You know what? I've had a great time at the World Series of Poker. You got me beat. Good for you. I call.
A call.
You have ace queen?
Yeah.
You're good.
And Lockey will win the hand.
That's a good feeling to sniff out a river bluff. Hope he doesn't hurt himself.
Lockey is thrilled. Althred may have lost that hand, but once again showed an amazing ability to read his opponents. It's something he learned while working for the WPT.
My job when I started the World Poker Tour, I would log every single card and every single play. I'd watch the action from 4 camera angles all at the same time. So I started to be able to notice how people reacted based on quality of hand and how confident they were and lack of confidence. I was really able to track betting patterns and how people did what they did. Lucky for me, there were some amazing players that made these final tables, so I learned from them on how to play other people and how to play the game. When I started, I played a lot like Gus Hansen because he was on all the time. And then later on, it was a bunch of different players, so I was kind of able to do a little chameleon style. I can play super tight like Dewey Tomko, or I can play wild and crazy like Gus Hansen, depending on, you know, what the situation called for. Well, I'll tell you, you can learn a lot by watching poker on TV. I mean, flat out. Lo and behold, it worked out for me. So I was able to apply it to my own game and make it happen.
Althred also writes and performs poetry, so I imagine he's pretty good at identifying a poet on tilt.
All right, back to the featured table where lead dog Mike Matiso has been rather quiet.
All right, boys and girls. I'm sick of sitting here like an idiot.
Let's see it.
The cards are coming right now, gosh dang it. Ow, I just broke my hand.
All right, action on Kara Scott. Kara looks down at King-Queen offsuit.
Kara, yet another poker broadcaster who plays better poker than me, looks better than me, and probably is better socially adjusted than me.
Raise.
King-Queen is good for a raise to $60,000.
Be afraid. Be very afraid. Of what? I don't know.
Matiso with 10 tray.
The mouth, card dead, and dying a slow death.
Action over to Fee Win now.
In the big blind.
Ace-10 of diamonds. And he's taking a close look at Kara Scott's chip stack.
All right, let's see the flop.
He'll just call for $40,000. Win and Scott to the flop. Flop is 4 King Ace. Fee Win hits top pair. Kara Scott middle pair. Fee Win check.
Kara, by the way, is a former high school teacher. That's a pretty good high school.
Grew up in Canada, moved to the UK to work in TV, and Kara Scott will bet $100,000 with her pair of kings.
Wynn is a casino host at Hawaiian Gardens in the Los Angeles area.
And he's going to raise it. That gets Kara's attention.
180.
Check raise to $280,000 total.
Tough spot for Kara, but my gal once was a Thai boxer. She can handle herself.
I'm all in.
Kara is going to push all in with second pair.
Well, she's got to hope to push Fee Win off his hand.
I'm in too deep.
I'm in too deep.
That's bad news for Kara.
Fee Win needs $167,000 more to call, and he does. Kara Scott at risk.
My damsel's in distress, and I'm helpless to help her.
You'll need something in a hurry. And word reaches Tiffany Michelle that another lady is in danger.
That bad news spreads fast.
Come on, don't give him 8.
All right, turn card now. Kara Scott at risk. It is a 5 of diamonds, no help to Scott.
No help to Kara.
I think if she gets knocked out on the last one, it's
No, Lisa Parsons is still playing.
Kara's going to need a king or a queen.
River is a 6, and that's going to do it. Kara Scott eliminated in 104th place for the main event.
Me too.
It's been a great run for Kara Scott Chad.
The win plays the villain.
Okay.
Didn't love me playing with.
Kara Scott finishes third among the women, and as Tiffany returns to table 2, she's apparently gleeful to see another woman knocked out.
The 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main event.
Back at the Rio, where 103 players remain in the main event.
Maybe I'll get a card rush.
Power of positive thinking, Mike.
I thought you could have just had like.
You ever heard of that get out of jail free card? I'm just trying to get out of jail.
Mike, you're already out of jail. Don't worry, I've been there too, buddy.
Matisso's legal issues have been well documented. As for Chino, in 2000, he was sentenced to 4 months in jail for burglary, larceny, and possession of marijuana. And in 2003, he was charged with trespassing.
Certainly both he and Matisso hope their legal troubles are behind them. Action on Christian Dragomir, King 7 suited.
Dragomir says he loves the mouth. I think he's actually a lot feistier than Matisso in terms of hand selection.
55.
Yeah, he's going to raise it to 55,000. And like Chino, Dragomir, as you mentioned, not adverse to playing creative hands aggressively. Chino with ace-jack offsuit.
Yeah, Chino will play any 2 cards, and those are 2 pretty good ones.
A call from the small blind. Owen Crow from Nova Scotia, 5 deuce of hearts.
Crow is a former poker dealer.
And for 35,000 more from the big blind, he'll make the call. 3 players to the flop. Flop is deuce, deuce, ace. How about that for a cheap big blind flop? Trip deuces for Crow. Ream checks his 2 pair. Crow checks his trips. Dragomir now.
Yeah, the only guy without a hand is going to bet. He is a young Mike Matisso.
80,000. Easy call from Ream.
And now Crow gets what he wants, Lon. And now what does he want to do with it?
Gotta raise it.
240.
Crow makes it 240,000 total.
You were right. He had to raise it. He's got to be wrong if he thought he should do it.
Dragomir's smart enough to get away. He is.
Dragomir decides not to get feisty with Squadouche this time.
Now Chino Ream.
What are you doing, buddy? Tell me you have a deuce?
Tell me you don't have a deuce?
I do not have a deuce.
Well, Chino's trips detector is up and running.
No.
Let's see if he trusts it.
So sick.
Chino folds it.
Good laydown from Ream.
And Owen Crow will rake in a nice pot. Chino Ream's radar is working much better than it was earlier on this day 5.
I think the mouth is visualizing good cards.
I think those are the only good cards he's been seeing. Kara Scott saying her goodbyes after being eliminated.
Who was that guy?
I don't know.
No, I know. But there's one more over there, I guess.
Yeah, the one more has a name.
And the name is Lisa Parsons from Tennessee, and she has just called all in with pocket aces going up against the pocket jacks of Mark Foss.
Mark Foss about to be 600,000 chips poor.
Just give me an ace. I'll be happy.
The flop now. No ace, but ace is up.
And Parsons improves her position.
Turn card down. Is a king. She's 1 card from doubling up.
Okay, I'll take a deuce.
Well, now only a jack would knock out Parsons.
Not greedy for the ace anymore?
Nah. Deuce, just deuce.
River cards a tray. That's still good enough for a double up for Lisa Parsons.
And we still have 2 women in the hunt for the main event title.
Mark Foss handed about a quarter of his stack over to Parsons there. And nearby, looks like Phil Hellmuth has a new table.
When did you get here?
It's Paul Snead, a New York pro.
The top 2 pair versus bottom 7.
How you doing? What are you going to do? How are you? Good to see you. You remember me, right? Yeah, we've got some history. I bluffed you last year, remember? You were pissed off at Mandalay Bay?
I don't remember, man.
And then we played the 5K and I knocked you out? You don't remember that?
I don't remember, dude.
All right.
But thanks for telling me you bluffed me.
Phil thought Snead was coming over to bust his dirty dish.
Well, it wasn't really a bluff. I mean,
As Phil likes to do, he greets his table mates before he sits down to play.
Oh, Phil doesn't shake everybody's hand.
Hellmuth hoping his 12th bracelet will be that one, a World Championship bracelet. Back to the featured table, Mike the Mouth began the day with 458,000, has not made many strides, and he's about half the chip average right now. All right, action at this table over to Sean Davis. Ace, king suited.
The poker pro from Atlanta had a lot of good cards earlier in the day, usually against Chino Reem.
And he'll raise it up to $75,000. Davis was the one that doubled up Chino Reem also earlier today. Action around to Matasso.
In the big blind.
And he looks down to 10-5 of clubs.
Boy, those cards look familiar and ugly.
All in.
The mouth finally lost his patience.
Wow, and a call from Davis with ace-king.
And it's a vintage Mike Matasso blow-up.
Wow.
Time to get lucky, Mike.
Time to get lucky.
Mike's taking it well.
I found the 10-5, boys and girls.
And he's all in with it.
Davis with a chance to knock off Matasso.
At least I found my...
I guess Mikey got tired of being bluffed off, and now he's in trouble.
Just say one time and it's your pot.
One time, baby!
All right, let's see if Christian Dragomir's advice pays off for Matasso.
Bam!
Oh, one time indeed.
That's a flop.
He paired his 5.
Let's go. 2 cards to go, baby.
Davis had Chino all but out of here, but Chino got lucky. Now the mouth trying to do the same thing.
Turn card.
Hey! Good card.
Matasso now just 1 card from a double up.
We're good here.
He's turned this into a game show.
Davis can still quiet the crowd with an ace or a king on the river.
It's a 6. That's a double up.
We are back in action!
Davis has doubled up the 2 top pros at this table.
There's the Mikey you used to know, right, baby? Woo!
Sean Davis can only sit there and take it.
I waited, I don't even know how long for that hand.
Mike the Mouth got impatient and lucky at just the right time.
The 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light.
I just like the all-around new Mike. I got the power of positive thinking.
Mike Matasso came into this tournament with high hopes and a new attitude.
I'm a happy camper. That's what I'm talking about.
And throughout this tournament, it worked.
Matasso's gonna push.
Oh, Lord.
On day 1, he pulled off a bluff and avoided a blow-up.
That's a steal.
And he's just had his poker prayers answered.
I found the 10-5, boys and girls.
To stay alive. For now.
Turn the off.
The Mouth's played very, very well, and now he got very, very lucky.
He is enjoying his new chips, and I think he's going to enjoy his new table mate. Is Phil Hellmuth coming to the feature table?
Tell me, Hellmuth and Matasso are going to be at the feature table together?
Wow.
Global warming just became the second biggest threat to this planet's future.
By random draw, welcome Phil Hellmuth.
Yes! 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 There's a god! Yes! Look who they brought here!
They're sitting next to each other.
It's only the worst table in history.
Come on, bud. I know you're nervous. No. What did you do? Did you get all your money in bad again?
I took the 10-5, baby. I knitted it for all day long. What do you want me to do?
I don't even have my blood pressure medication with me.
Hey, how's it? We already had the worst table in the history of poker, and then they bring this guy over.
This is going to be good. Hellmuth first to act, and on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam, he showed a jack and a 4 into the muck. Action folds over to Sean Davis. Davis with ace-jack, offsuit.
It just seems like Davis has got a month's worth of big hands here on day 5.
That is true. Another raise from him to $75,000. Christian Dragomir now, the Romanian poker TV host, 10-9 off.
Well, this guy has shown us he doesn't need big cards to play. He just wants to play.
And he will play with those, makes the call. Over to Chino Reem now. Chino with king, queen of spades.
Chino's been very active.
And he also calls. Matasso in the big blind. King, queen. He shows Phil and folds.
Hey, show one, show all, boys.
3-way action to the flop. Flop is 5-10 deuce. Dragomir with a pair of 10s. Reem with a flush draw. Davis missed the flop. And he checks. Dragomir with his 10s, he checks. They all check.
Everyone in a hurry to get to the turn.
Tray of clubs on the turn. Dragomir, pair of 10s are still good. Davis with a wheel draw.
It's time for Dragomir to get busy.
After Davis checked, Dragomir is going to make it $155,000 to stick around in the hand. And Chino will call.
I love how quickly Chino acts when he acts quickly.
Davis quickly folds his wheel draw.
Too many times no-limit players take forever. Chino knows what he wants to do, and he does it.
River card now, 5 of spades, and Ream hits that flush.
Oh, maybe he was a rush to get to the river because he knew the flush was coming.
Dragomir checks his 10s.
240.
Chino bets 240,000.
Dragomir doesn't like it.
No. Action on Dragomir now.
Well, frankly, if you shake your head that much, you should muck your hand.
Got a 5. We got a flush.
Dragomir's got the right idea.
I call.
But he calls.
Chino's got a flush.
Yeah, Chino does. And Chino's got that pot.
Had to have a flush.
And he did. Dragomir sensed he was beat, but called anyway. Chino up near 2.6 million chips. On the E-Trade Financial chip count, Mark Ketteringham is the new leader in the room with almost 6 million. Tiffany Michelle in 5th place. And out in the field there is Ketteringham, a pro from Los Angeles. This will be his second cash at this World Series. Nearby there is Tiffany Michelle and a hand with Mark Podell. Michelle with ace deuce. Podell holds pocket 10s.
All in.
And Podell's going to push all in.
Podell, a New York sales director for an internet advertising company, will be at risk here if Tiffany calls.
And she does for 206,000 more.
Come on, baby, one time. Don't do it. Don't do it to me, dealer.
Podell ahead.
Please don't do it down there. Don't do it to me.
And the flop. Oh, and there's an ace. They did it to him.
How do you make that call?
Podell's got to learn the power of positive thinking from Mike Matusow.
Michelle with a chance to knock off an opponent. Turn card. Oh, a 10 for Podell.
Podell was ahead, then he was behind, now he's ahead again.
No diamond! No diamond! 4 of clubs! 4 of clubs!
A diamond would end Mark Podell's main event.
Please don't do it!
River card now.
Don't do it!
Diamond!
Oh, God!
Podell knocked out and crushed.
There must be 1,000 ways to end your main event brutally, and that's one of them.
He is the 100th place finisher at this year's main event.
And Tiffany Michelle, who was down to 8,000 chips on day 2, now has a lot of chips.
Indeed, she's approaching 4 million. Michelle acknowledges the brutal beat, but will certainly enjoy the spoils of victory. Tonight's Poker Fact is brought to you by FullTiltPoker.net. The odds of making a royal flush are about 650,000 to 1. No wonder it's top dog in all of poker.
Hello, Mr. Cunningham. Alan, it's a big pot out there, buddy. I'm all in. Don't be scared.
I call.
Only a donkey would make that call.
We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
The 2008 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by WorldSeriesOfPoker.com. Shop WorldSeriesOfPoker.com. Get free shipping on gifts for your poker fan at ShopWSOP.com.
Back at the Rio, 80 players left. At table 2, Alex Althred is all in pre-flop with Queen Jack of Spades being flanked by his friend and table-mate Tiffany Michelle. Michael Carroll has pocket 9s and a chance for a knockout.
Carroll uncharacteristically quiet, trying to end Alex Althred's day.
Flop is 10 ace queen, all clubs. Althred pairs his queen, picks up a straight draw. Carroll with a club flush draw. Turn card now. 4 of diamonds. Althred still in good shape.
Oh, red cards.
Carroll looking for a 9 or any club to send Althred home.
It's an 8 of diamonds, and Althred will win the hand and double up. Michael fought back from a short stack, but takes a hit there.
With $9 million dangling out there for the winner line, every card just has amazing intensity.
Nearby, Mark Foss has put his 1.5 million chips at risk with ace-king up against the 2 aces of Dennis Phillips. Phillips, the amateur, trying to knock off the pro from down under.
Foss looks like he's ready for the Grim Reaper.
And now the flop. Queen trade 9-0 there for Foss.
Handshake a little premature. Foss, though, needs runner straight or runner kings.
Turn card, well, gives him a gut shot straight draw.
That's a runner.
You do it.
Telling you, 4 outs.
A jack and a jack only would save Mark Foss.
River card is a deuce, and Mark Foss is done. Phillips picks up a huge pot. His chip stack has grown to over $3.4 million. For Mark Foss, a top 100 finish in the main event for the globe-trotting pro from Down Under.
Phillips, a big St. Louis Cardinals fan. He's got a lot of poker player autographs on that hat.
Key win for Dennis Phillips.
Damn!
Indeed. Back to our featured table where the World Championship bracelet presides, as do two big egos, Matusow and Hellmuth.
Nuclear superpowers side by side.
All right, action on Christian Dragomir, though. Dragomir looks down at 10-4 diamonds.
Dragomir gets busy again.
Yeah. He's going to raise it to 80,000.
Didn't he bluff Chino with 10-4 earlier today?
He did.
He likes that hand.
Folds around to Phil Hellmuth.
In the small blind.
Phil's got an ace. Phil has ace-king.
You have aces?
I think Chino had ace-king, too, in that hand.
Chino did, you're right.
You might have aces. This is sick.
Y'all got a bet here?
Nah, you don't have aces. I think you have ace-queen.
Phil giving Dragomir too much credit.
A re-raise from Phil to $255,000 with ace-king.
Please, I pray to God he folds, Mike. Everybody else in the world wants you to move in with this hand. I'm praying you fold. Honey!
Yes, dear.
I hope he doesn't have aces. I'm going to show this hand afterwards.
Dragomir does not have aces. He has 10-4.
Don't worry, I'm going to show you.
Dragomir's going to call.
God. I guess Dragomir wants to mix it up with a poker brat, and he's got his lucky 10-4.
So Dragomir and Hellmuth heads up to the flop. Ace-king against 10-4. Classic matchup. And there is a 10 in there. Dragomir takes the lead with a pair of 10s.
Check.
Dragomir with top pair.
You heard Hellmuth check. Now Dragomir.
Here we go, Mike. So I can't believe this. They dealt me aces versus kings again right here. This is so sick.
Dragomir bets 300,000.
This idiot guy over here.
That was uncalled for.
I don't. You know what, Mike? I think he called the re-raise with ace-queen or something. He's just a crazy guy trying to go broke.
You put
Bill shows the ace-king
in. He put in like only 150.
Mike, you tell him what.
Show him the 3-8 offsuit or something. 10-4, baby.
Phil is stunned.
That was worth the price of admission.
And everybody gangs up on Phil.
Phil had it coming.
That's his hand all day. That's his hand. That's his hand. Three times.
He re-raised Chino with it. He called me with it. He called Phil with it.
This is how I lose my money to some idiot.
I show ace king and fold.
He's now said idiot 2 times too many.
I'm going to tell you something, buddy. You want to hear what I have to say? This is just...
No, after you learn some manners, yes.
Forget it. Forget it.
Before that, whatever.
Well done, Christian.
Buddy, you're an idiot, is what you are.
That's 3 times.
This is the state of poker.
But I'm an idiot with a stack. you don't have a stack. Whatever.
Someone puts in $400,000 with 10-4, and the crowd celebrates like it's a good play. This is the state of poker. The guy is the worst player in history, and they're cheering. You are an idiot.
4 times.
Did you see what this idiot just did?
5.
Man.
He played
man,
with a 10-4.
I had enough of that. This is the 10th time. You are an idiot. Come on, what is this?
Dragomir fighting back.
What is it's the 10th time. What is this?
I apologize, but I don't like the way you play poker. That's all.
Whatever.
That's
I don't
all I
want
say.
you playing poker.
I won't say anything more than you.
I don't want you to
Phil
play
way
poker.
out of line
You're the
here.
worst player around. I won't call you. Let's go.
Yeah, but he has like $3 million. He wanted to pump you up because he likes you.
Just playing my
You won't
hand.
last 10 minutes tomorrow, I don't think, to be honest.
It cost me, it cost me like 10 grand to get in this tournament. It cost you nothing. So just leave me blow away my 10,000, okay? Okay?
He's right.
Okay. You need to chill.
Buddy, that's sick.
I don't care. You're way out of line.
We love to watch the act, but Hellmuth's actions here are deplorable.
I understand. He sucked out on you, but okay, it's poker. Poker.
To you, it's poker, man. To me, this is my life.
Day 5 mini poker lives came to an end, and now only 79 players remain.
Oh, God! Yes!
The number of women in the main event diminished, and now we are down to 2, including Tiffany Michelle with a very healthy chip stack.
Thanks for your tips.
Yeah! Left to carry the torch for the pros are a rejuvenated Mike Matiso.
I waited, I don't even know how long for that hand.
And a bewildered Phil Hellmuth who must quickly recover from an end-of-day meltdown.
You are an idiot.
For Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarran. See you next time, Praise of Poker.